New tonight, cities across this country preparing for protests being pushed by Stop the Steal. It's the group embracing President Trump's baseless conspiracy theory that the election has been stolen from him. More than 50 pro-Trump rallies planned tomorrow, at least one in each state, plus Washington, D.C. Trump says he may attend that protest, tweeting, "I may even try to stop by and say hello." Drew Griffin is out front.
It's an internet battle cry. Stop the Steal has swept across inboxes, Facebook pages, and Twitter like an out-of-control virus. The claims that Democrats stole the 2020 presidential election from Donald Trump are all false. But the truth means little to people inundated with lies.
I believe that they tried to steal the election.
Stop the Steal may appear as a grassroots uprising, but it started more than 4 years ago. The brainchild of a political dirty trick artist and convicted liar who's pushed disinformation schemes for years. Roger Stone.
Stop the Steal is posting much of this material. There is insurmountable, compelling, overcoming evidence of fraud.
Stop the Steal is actually a coordinated effort that has been revived twice by Roger Stone and allied political operatives in an attempt to gaslight the entire integrity of our voting and election process.
Ben Decker, who conducts digital investigations, says far from a grassroots campaign, Stop the Steal is a business. In 2016, Roger Stone's PAC launched StopTheSteal.org, which was asking for $10,000 donations, purportedly back then to help uncover evidence of vote fraud against Donald Trump. Stone told CNN the group was a nonprofit created to ensure the integrity of the vote.
Stop the Steal!
Stop the Steal reemerged briefly in the 2018 midterms. Then in the run-up to 2020, the Stop the Steal campaign rebooted by a group of people orbiting Roger Stone. The cast of characters include Ali Alexander, a Roger Stone wannabe.
Actually just got a message from Roger Stone.
He began hashtagging Stop the Steal weeks before Election Day and launched a Stop the Steal website.
I'm one of the co-founders.
Amy Kramer, a Tea Party activist who in 2016 formed the group Women Vote Trump with Roger Stone's ex-wife. Kramer was behind a Stop the Steal Facebook group, along with two people who worked on Steve Bannon's discredited We Build the Wall fund. It was taken down by Facebook. Also shut down, a cluster of pages affiliated with Bannon that coordinated posts, according to Facebook, using inauthentic behavior tactics to artificially boost how many people saw their content. In all, the pages had 2.5 million followers before they were shuttered.
Stop the Steal is a highly coordinated, partisan, political operation.
This week, Stone even took his message to the most notorious conspiracy theorist of all, Alex Jones.
A hoax is being perpetrated on the American people.
On Twitter, researchers at Clemson University saw the hashtag Stop the Steal mentioned in nearly 2 million tweets. The tweets, the Facebook posts, filled with unsubstantiated and false evidence of widespread voter fraud, quickly caught the attention of disinformation researchers like Kieran O'Connor.
It only took a day and a half before Facebook took the group down, but by then it was already too late.
Copycat sites now number in the dozens, and the false information initially spread by a few is only multiplying. Aaron, the followers of Stop the Steal don't seem to mind they're being lied to, don't seem to mind that there is a plan to make them think the way they think. And as you reported at the top of this story, this movement is going to get a big test this weekend. We're told thousands of Stop the Steal followers will show up for that rally in Washington, D.C. We shall see. Aaron?
All right. Thank you very much. I want to go now to Jim Himes. He's the Democratic congressman from Connecticut who's on the House Intelligence Committee. So, Congressman, let me just talk first about what Drew's reporting about tomorrow. You're going to have these rallies, these protests in all 50 states. Tomorrow, one in Washington, the president has said he may even stop by. Highly coordinated. A lot of people attending them have no idea about that, right? But they are the victims of this disinformation. But this is going to be a lot of people at a lot of protests. Do you have any concern?
Yeah, not really, Aaron.
what everything we've seen since the election has been, almost sort of satirically underwhelming, right? I mean, from Rudy Giuliani's press conference outside Four Seasons Total Landscaping between the porn shop and the crematorium, to now 14 cases in court that have been tossed out, to the sort of pathetic quality of the president's behavior. I suspect it's going to be a lot less than meets the eye. But what's really sad here, Aaron, is that, look, this is being done really for one big reason. It's a huge grift, right? It's a huge grift. Look at the president's fundraising things. The fundraising is about not because anybody inside the White House believes he's got a chance to reverse the results of the election. It's about paying down campaign debt. And these people who show up at the rallies are going to be encouraged to sign up for this and to donate to that and to buy this T-shirt and to buy this thing. It's a big money-making grift. And, look, this is not new to our history. What's really sad about it is that it's not that it's being stoked by Donald Trump. That's to be expected. It's that it's being reinforced by my colleagues. When Kevin McCarthy, the House Republican leader, says publicly something that he knows not to be true, that this election was stolen, boy, our democracy is in a lot of trouble. That's what worries me more than a bunch of protests that may occur this weekend.
So can I ask you why you think so many of your colleagues are staying silent? Like, do they still think that the president can be useful to them? And why is it that people who I'm sure you're friends with, you've had meaningful conversations with, there's people of great substance, are allowing someone to come out and say these completely false things and to encourage Americans to believe that our democracy is broken and that they lost an election, that it was stolen from them? Why are your colleagues doing that?
It's the same old story. It's the same story over 4 years. And I mean, I know this because I've talked to Republicans. They know that this is one big silly carnival. But individually, they've got no incentive to make that point. And the reason for that is that, look, President Trump, though he got beaten very, very soundly in the election, he got 70 million plus votes. He is still a very potent force. And if one Republican member of Congress or if a Republican senator stands up and says what we all know to be true, which is that Donald Trump lost this, that member, that senator has political problems. Now, in the old world, where integrity and truth and sort of commitment to American ideals matter, my Republican friends would say, you know what, it is going to be hard for me when I say what is obvious. It is going to be hard for me when I stand up for one of the basic pinnacles or basic cornerstones of our democracy, which is that we do peaceful transitions of power. In the old world, some of my Republican colleagues would have chosen to take that risk. Now they are members of a cult of personality.
I just find it bizarre that it's a profile and courage to acknowledge that someone getting 306 electoral votes is a win. I think that's sort of why I'm dumbfounded. Whatever your politics are, you got to accept facts. I want to ask you one other thing because of your obvious knowledge on intelligence. A senior administration official tells us that the CIA Director Gina Haspel today was iced out of an intelligence meeting. It was at a meeting at the White House. President Trump was there. The National Intelligence Director, John Ratcliffe, was there. She was iced out. And obviously this comes, as you've seen, several members of the Defense Department fired, the Defense Department chief fired, national security officials kicked out, Department of Homeland Security kicked out. Do you really believe that he'll fire her?
I don't know. I don't know, but I can tell you how serious this is. When you go to a war with a country, the thing you dream of doing is of decapitating the national security leadership of that country. The President of the United States is decapitating the national security leadership of the United States. And our enemies and our opponents abroad are noticing.
All right, Congressman Himes, I appreciate your time. Thank you.